Okay, so I think the only two agenda items I sort of identified was just talking about if there was any follow-up from the carving contest, Halloween pumpkin carving contest, and talk about the website and whether we want to, do anything to add to that. Because I think that was something we had thought about talking about, but Steve wasn't with us last time. So here's Lisa. Here's
Yeah, I think I'll take a
Steve.
crack at the pumpkin thing if you want.
Sure.
Sure. And there's Steve coming in too. Steve did an awesome job through the whole process of getting everything on the website and getting the email set up and whipping around all the pictures of the few entries we had. So, hats off to Steve. He did a great job. Akvili and I helped. There wasn't a lot to do. We just set up the one winner that was at the farmers market that Saturday, and the guy was appreciative. And a couple of the other winners actually showed up, but said their pumpkins did not survive the time frame between when they did them and when which we knew was going to be an issue. So anyway, it was okay, and a lot of people actually took pictures with it. And other than firing our marketing director for the event next year, which is me, if the Canal-Ween doesn't come off again, I think it's a worthwhile event. I just think we need to get the word out more efficiently, and I think it could have worked out fairly well. So the only thing we have left to do, there was 6 or 7 entries altogether. So we ended up being a little bit generous on the winners, and I think we picked 3 first-rate prizes and 3 runners-up, and they were all from the same family. So we got the preferred gift certificates from the people who have supported Parks and Rec before. We know what we need to buy. Steve was chasing down the family that had 3 kids that all won runners-up. So I think they requested something that wasn't on the list. So he went back to them and asked them to refresh, because we want to at least spend Park and Rec money on businesses that have helped us. So once they do that, I'll get them, and I'll either drop them off to the people I know, or I'll mail them out. And that was it.
That's great. Well, a couple of things, just one of the places that we were hoping that it would be advertised was there's a write-up in the Community Connections, which I should have asked Paula. That's still outstanding. So people are going to learn about it there. And then the other thing I just wanted to mention, which I thought I had mentioned, but I mean, it's great to ask Paula to put something on Facebook, but I've just found in the last couple of years that you got to copy Wes, because so I did forward it to him at one point, because I was like, I did look and I saw I hadn't been tracking it, and I looked at it, hadn't been posted there. So I did say, I think I copied you guys, but I sent a email to Wes just to let him know that it was something we'd like to be posted. So just
eventually was posted.
Yeah, he did, like immediate, like you ask him, he like immediately does it, like any time of day or night. So and I think Paula's just got too many things going on.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe next year we can keep our fingers crossed that everybody gets the vaccine and we're back at Canal-Ween. And I'm not rooting against the virtual pumpkin event, but that's a backstop to the main event.
Yeah. I mean, I thought the posters and everything that you put out were great. I mean, they looked really wonderful. Yeah. And the other thing is people aren't out. People are maybe, well, there's plenty of people walking around, but maybe not quite as much as before. I don't know.
Yeah.
I also shared, I sent out to everyone the picture with the ribbons of the pumpkin that was actually there on display. And I did notice on social media that a lot of folks still carved pumpkins and did like their own mini Canal-Weens that lived on the canal.
I saw a couple on the canal.
Yeah.
Right.
That was still nice.
Yeah. That's cool.
That was an awesome pumpkin. I mean, that winner.
It was. I saw that.
A lot of people took photos at the sale. Yeah, the kids would stand there and they get a picture.
Yeah, he was pretty proud of it too. I mean, he was a nice guy, and he obviously put a lot of thought into it, so it was cool.
Yeah, very creative. Golly. Okay, so thanks for doing the follow-up then on the gift certificates.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. And then the only other thing was just the website. Last time, I can't remember, were you, Steve, you had created that website, and then I think someone had suggested maybe we should put other stuff on there, and is it, so I don't know, that seems like a great idea to me. I just don't know what the best way to do that is.
Well, it's a matter of I think we just have to decide what it is we want and what we want out of the website. I can put anything on there. I can design it in any way that we want. I think it's good to have like that's like, kind of like the face of the rec board to have that website, and then we can just new events we can put on the front page. We can add a calendar to it, like an interactive calendar. I could even find a way of getting something where people can subscribe to it. So like if there's new events, they get notified through their email. I think one of the problems that I see with the events that we hold is that the word isn't getting out. Like I talk to neighbors around here and I'll tell them, hey, did you hear about this pumpkin carving thing? And nobody hears about them. And I don't know what else we can do to reach out and get the word out to people about what we're doing. Because it's a lot of work doing a lot of these events. And then if nobody knows about it, it's kind of all for naught. So I think it'd be a good idea if we can spitball ideas around as far as how we can get the word out better, reach more people, and let them know exactly what we're doing. Again, certainly after you do all the labor, it's nice to get it out there as much as possible and get a better response.
Yeah.
I was surprised we only had 6 people with the pumpkins. But again, we put the posters out, but people aren't walking Main Street. I'm not sure where else you can put them or, how else we can reach people, in an effective manner.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it, I think, I do think that the borough Facebook definitely reaches people, like it helps us. I think it's just we have to keep reminding someone to post it there. And I mean, it works really well, I think, for the Easter egg hunt, and I think it's worked well with the Halloween parade. I mean, there's some things that works for, some things I think just take a little, that was a really untraditional event, so it took a little more understanding, and but it was only promoted once that I know of, so I think that's how we sort of might have missed the boat. And I think if it had been in Community Connections, the people that do read do see things there too. But it also does take time on some of these events to build the audience, so to speak.
And you will build an audience over time, but the Community Connections has been going out for what is it, every quarter now for years, right?
Years.
Every quarter there's something in there about the farmers market, and there's still people in the borough that don't know we have a farmers market.
Yeah.
So you're just not going to reach everybody, but we can build it by being maybe a little more proactive next year. But the first year of anything, I think, is rough.
I think it would be nice to incorporate something in the website that is interactive.
Yeah.
And I'll look into it and see how that works. But I know, like, if I go to a website, you say it's a specialty hobby that I have, something like that, and I sign up for something, and then anytime there's something new, I get an email, and I can opt out of them, of course. But if it's something that I sign up for, like my community events, if I'm interested in knowing anytime there's a new event in the borough, I'll sign up for that, and now we know we've got an audience that's getting everything we do. They're getting word of it, and they're spreading it among their friends.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to incorporate that into a website. I know it's not difficult. I can certainly do it, like an RS feed, something like that. But let me look into that and see what we can do. And again, if we're going to start building something where we're building up a dossier of people that will want to attend, that's probably the way to do it, because now anything you put online, whether it's a new Halloween event or something like that, if they're signed up for it, they'll know about it.
Good.
I agree. I think it was mentioned that there was a mass email sent out for the group, but I'm not even in the emails myself. So I think we kind of somehow have to start an update
Yeah.
see, because new people have moved in and try to really capture their information. So
Mhm.
maybe that's something we can incorporate on the email, like subscribe or something on the website. You subscribe by your email
Yeah.
and you get like these updates. That can be like an interactive part.
So
Even, I'm sorry, but even in the smaller social media sites like Nextdoor, I see a lot of people in there like, hello, my name is, I'm new to the neighborhood. Can you recommend a doctor? Maybe we can go in there once a month and just say, hey, we're the Yardley Rec Board. Here's our link, follow us, And
Yeah.
just, not enough to annoy people, but enough to let people know that you're there.
So council's working on the email list. We know it's an area where we're lacking. We are going to be using a MailChimp type of service, not MailChimp though. I can't remember the name of it. It's cheaper, so we're going with that. But
Oh, cool.
so there's going to be different categories that folks can subscribe to if you want to have informative documentation about preparing for floods, if you want to learn about Parks and Rec events. So there's going to be all these different things that people can check on the list what they want to receive emails for. So that's in the works. And we'll certainly, once that gets up and running a little more, we'll plug you in. And then what we're gonna do is have street captains, hopefully, to go out and get everyone's email on their street. So hopefully we'll get pretty close to every email in the borough, if not around 90% or so. So that's the plan. Obviously, it's a little tough to go out and collect information from folks with COVID going on, but we're working on it. So.
Good. And then Caroline, with like groups like us, would we be able to update that ourselves, or you would have a point person that we would go to and say, hey, we need to add this into our area?
So I think we would be limited how many blasts we could do because we don't want to spam people because
Sure.
then they would unsubscribe. But yeah, if you wanted to do a Parks and Rec blast, you would have to probably go through either Paula or the Community Outreach Committee, which is chaired by Uri Feiner.
Okay.
So I just got a text. Is that you, Carol?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you got
I
on.
didn't want to.
Great.
I got in. Yay.
I just saw your text message. Well, so I could just give a quick update on the Reading Avenue Woods, but other than that, we did have a work day there last weekend with there were supposed to be some students, but it ended up being some teachers and no students, and a couple other neighborhood volunteers just to remove some of the vines and start sort of thinking about what would happen next. And the week before, Caroline was there, a couple of us met with Ken, and he's going to try and do some, I guess probably later in December, once leaves are all collected, he's going to try and do some more removal, focusing maybe on the Reading Avenue side, to try and put not right next to the street, but a little bit in a meandering path, so, from one end to the other, because I guess there are lots of kids, according to some of the neighbors, that kind of they go under the bridge, and that's how they get into the borough to go to Wawa and stuff like that. So yeah, that's moving forward. And the only other thing was, I guess at some point, maybe in December or January, we might want to think about, I don't know, Lisa, what we got to think about, whether we're going to do a race again. I don't know.
Yeah. Pat put on 2 races the last 2 weekends in Washington's Crossing, and they went fabulous. Like, it was really well planned out. People were very compliant with wearing your mask until you started. As soon as they crossed the line, I mean, there was a marathon on Sunday, and it was hot. And people, as soon as they crossed the finish line, they put their mask backs on. They social. It was really it was nice to see. People were so into wanting to participate in something that they really followed every single rule. It was great. It
How
went really
many
well.
do you think, Lisa?
I'm sorry?
How many do you think participated?
on Halloween weekend, it was a half and a whole, and there was probably, I'm going to say 200 people. Yesterday or Sunday, excuse me, there was like 175. The park allows 250 with volunteers, whatnot. We discouraged spectators. There were spectators there, but people don't show up. So it kind of evened out. There was hands-free water stations where you could just fill your water bottle with pushing a pedal on a jug. And people were just so happy to be involved in it. They really followed all the rules. It went off really well.
Mhm.
So just depends on where the numbers go.
Right.
Right now it's 250, and I don't know. Things are getting kind of bad, so it could go back the other way. But this weekend went really well.
That's good.
Yeah, it was really good. People were just happy to be doing something normal.
Yeah. I bet.
So hopefully maybe we can do something, we'll see.
Yeah, and I think we still have a little bit of time to figure that out.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, since we're going to be, who knows when the vaccine's coming out and what the spring is going to carry. It might be an idea to maybe the next meeting we have everybody come with their thoughts about kind of what a timeline has to be for us to decide whether we're going to do a limited event or the full event or some combination. Last time it just seemed like we were all dealing with the situation as it evolved, but it kept feeling like we kept pushing back the decision. Then we rescheduled the race, and then it was almost like we were pushing a deadline all year. Maybe the next time in December we can get together and try to agree that okay, by January we're going to decide whether we can do it, and then we're going to publicize it like this. We'll limit it to half the size it normally is, or things like that, just so we can have a little bit of a timeline set up. I think that would be better since we've been through this at least 1 year so far.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. It's doable if you just do it the right way.
How's the staging area? I'm sorry, I've never attended a race in Yardley. Is our
No,
staging area
No.
through town a little materially different from what you experienced in that marathon? Because I don't know what our limit would be. I don't have any concept of that.
What was done for the start, where you had to kind of project your time. So, and you were given a bib based on your time. So if you're the fastest person, you were bib 1. Saying it.
Yeah.
So you lined up as in how you were going to run, and every 10 seconds someone went off. It's chip timing, so you're going to get whatever time you time. And people did do every 6 feet. There was another person. So we had probably 150 people go off in 10 minutes.
Oh wow.
That's pretty.
So it went really smoothly. As far as like the food goes, what we did was we did the Wawa kid meals. So as soon as you cross the finish line, Wawa was amazing. We gave them all the medals, and we also gave out masks. So Wawa put the medals and the masks in the box. So as soon as you finished the finish line, you were handed this box, this little kids meal, and then you keep going. You just, there wasn't any hanging around. There was no award ceremony. That's all going to be mailed. You didn't have to have someone touch the medal, the finisher's medal, because some races do give finisher's medals. We don't, but some do. Yeah, so that went really well too.
Let's do it.
There was no day of race sign up. So you didn't have that, and
Right, because then
no
you can
pre-pickup.
meet people. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Should we go ahead and start planning then, based on the current restrictions, plan on what we can do? And of course, if the restrictions change, then the plans change, but we should go ahead and start planning for this? Or is it too early?
No, we usually start around January.
Yeah.
All right.
We still have time.
Is there
I mean,
any?
usually we picked a date, but I think, there's still time for that.
All right, so we have no events then through the winter holiday, right? We don't have anything until we start talking about running.
Not unless you got something.
Not thinking of anything in particular.
Virtual,
Tree trimming. Virtual-
front door contest. You got the template.
Yeah.
Or like a light show, like Charlie's, yeah, no. Yeah, and I think Sue pointed out, we often don't meet in December. I don't know if we have an agenda, we can. If we don't, we don't.
Okay.
But anyway. All right, anybody have anything else?
I have one thing that could potentially, impact you all. So community outreach has been talking about vacancies on committees, and we're having a hard time filling vacancies. So since my time on council, they will sit for months or years. We have a whole new committee, an appeals board that we've had no applications for. So we're not able to, kick it off. So the conversation has started. Do we have too many committees? Do we have too many people on all of the committees? It's been thrown around if we want to reduce the number of people on committees and then just have a pool of general volunteers. When you need more folks to help with an event, you can pull from that pool of volunteers. So just something to start thinking about. Your head count on Parks and Rec, it's one of our bigger committees. Do you think we need as many people as we have? And if anybody has any thoughts about that general issue in filling vacancies. Also, we found that the same people are on 3 or 4 different committees, and we're really burning out our volunteers. So we're trying to be mindful of that as well.
Yeah, some of these people I see on the screen.
Yes. Yep.
Joe, Sue. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any thoughts, but others might.
Yeah, I know we're formally, Uri's going to formally reach out to the chairs of each committee, but I'm just giving you a heads up that you might be getting an email or a phone call if you want to start thinking about it.
Okay. Oh, here comes Jimmy.
Maybe he has something.
I don't know.
There he is.
There. Hey, we were just wrapping up.
See that?
There you go. You got anything, Jimmy?
Oh, there he is.
I don't think his audio is working.
Jimmy, can you hear us?
Jimmy.
Okay.
It's like he's struggling.
This is great.
We're laughing with you, not at you.
Oh, now you're definitely muted.
No, you're not.
You with us, Jimmy?
There's half a nod.
Needs paper and a
All right.
pen.
I think we're all our businesses out of the way, I think, right?
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah,
All our businesses out of the way?
Yeah.
You got here just in
I
time.
think so.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so I'll send out the notes and we'll reconvene in December if we think we have anything, and if not,
January.
January.
Yeah, I mean, in January, unless there's a reason to get started with the rate planning.
Yeah, I think
guess.
January, not unless something really happens that we have to get together.
Okay. And
But
even
Joe,
time-
Joe, just, if you send out their certificates, just give me receipts and I'll take care of you.
Okay, thanks, Carol.
in the meantime-
I'll scan them and I'll email them to you.
Perfect.
if anybody has any recommendations, anything they want to see done with the website, any changes that it needs or whatever, just let me know. And, it's a work in progress for now, but, I'd like to have it up and running with all the events, calendars, whatever we're going to do by next year. So at least that's all good to go.
Hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. Take care, everybody.
All right.
All right.
Folks, have a great
holiday.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Good night.
Bye. Happy
Yes.
Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yes.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.